let's talk about this for a minute. So minorities tend to live in the worldview of dominant majorities. So the culture that we live in is dominated by certain categories of people. Typically in the US, it's the upper class white male. Right? So there's a masculine dominant perspective that is still, despite years of feminism and work on that, men still have the upper hand. You have more men that are CEOs, that are presidents, that are in power, that are movie directors, that are more men than women that have power. The white ethnicity tends to dominate the experience, the culture, right? And you have a number of things. Straight sexual orientation is a majority. In the U.S., the Christian religion is like a dominant perspective, right? Left and right, traditional left and right, Republicans and Democrats are dominant political realities. So if you're not in one of those parties, if you have a really different kind of political belief, you're in a minority. Abled people are in a majority. People who are citizens of a country, that's an interesting thing. Like for me, I realize when I look at this list, I've I guess lucky for me, but creates a handicap. I tend to fit in all of the sort of like categories that have power, right? I'm a man, I'm white, I'm like from a upper middle class family, I'm abled, like I'm straight, like I have a lot of stuff that falls in there. The one thing that I experienced when I came to the US is being a non-citizen. So that was like sort of like the first time that I experienced a minor form of discrimination, of not being in the majority. But that was kind of eye-opening to realize, oh wow, that's what it's like to not be in a dominant category, and very interesting. So why do I bring this? There's many more that could be added. You could have a whole other list of attributes that puts you in a minority. But what happens is we tend to not pay attention, not realize what's known, people who are in minorities, how their worldview is different from ours. We tend to assume that the worldview of the majority is the correct way to see the world. That if you're not in that category, then you have to. There's another thing that happens. If you're in a minority, you have to somewhat explain yourself or justify yourself to the person who is in the majority. So that's kind of like a problem with subjective filters.